Hey chameleons, welcome back to my channel. Boy, what a week. I've had food poisoning, I went to a snack bar and something wasn't good with the meat. And I was very sick for a week. So, but it's past now. And little by little, I've worked on my German army a little more. And as you can see, it's now, getting to a full-grown army here. So a lot of this you have already seen, but I will go through it for the guys who haven't. This is my 1945, 1946-ish German sci-fi army, and the scenario that World War II did not end in 1945, and the Germans basically got another wallet to die themselves. So I will start here. And this is actually pretty authentic because these things existed. And this is very interesting here. This is my comet. And what the comet is I would like to tell you a little bit more, is this really existed. This is not sci-fi, this is just science. um, the comet was a very fast jet-powered interceptor. And what it did is it was originally designed as a glider. But during World War II, there were all these mad scientists thinking, hey, what if we put a massive jet engine under this? Or what if we build a massive gun on a train? And, stuff like that. And eventually they came up with the Comet. And it proved that if you have this glider and you put a rocket engine underneath it, some wheels, it lifts off. And it gets to in 2 minutes, it manages to reach high altitude. And when it reaches this high altitude, it does so much faster than normal fighters, which normal fighters would take like 30 minutes to reach this altitude. And but now it has already expanded most of its fuel, and it will go down like this in circles. And as it goes down, it attacks Allied aircraft and mostly bomber formations by 1945. And it has been in a dogfight once successfully, and but its fuel capacity is very low, but it's insanely fast. I believe it was the fastest one the Germans had. Um, and then it basically crash lands into ground. And the cool thing is that these pilots for these comets, they were trained in gliders. They were trained to crash land gliders, and these were the type of pilots that were selected to fly the comets. So they could always deliver, or most of the time would deliver back their plane safely by crash landing it on the ground after the fuel was spent. Here I got a V1 missile. And actually the V1, I say missile because, V1 rocket. But actually that's not the case. The V1 was actually an unmanned plane. It did not use rocket engine to fly, only to lift off. And, it had the guidance system was set pre-launch. So they could kind of hope and guess that they would hit London. But I'm gonna use this for like maybe a mission type scenario where one has to get this control bunker before the V1 launches or something. There's another, but this one is different, and this one actually has a cockpit. And I believe this is the one that the Germans tried as a kamikaze one. So that's very interesting. This one, I don't know exactly what this is, so please, if you do, please tell me. I think it's something similar. I don't really know for sure. I have not had the time to go into it much deeper. Now, I will get into my infantry a little. Now here's my Pioniere, my combat engineers, and this is an anti-tank team. This guy has anti-tank grenade. It has Sturmgewehr. This guy has mines. So in the game, I can move this team around, and I can choose from their options when I'm going to fire, like what I'm gonna do. Am I gonna drop a mine? Am I gonna do a fire order with the Goliath, which I'll get into soon? It's awesome. Um, or will I throw an anti-tank grenade? Or will I just use them as basic as infantry and just fire their weapons? So that's gonna be interesting. And one of the coolest is this one. This is the Goliath. Yeah, I've got paint all over my hands. I still have to paint the base a little more, but you can see here. And what this is this is an operator with a remote control mini tank. And like I said in my previous videos, the Germans have a really ironic sense of humor when it comes to war machines, because they call this the Goliath and they call a huge tank a mouse. But this operator can send this remote control vehicle to an enemy tank or position, and where it will blow up and destroy whatever the target is. Like here, we'll send it out, and I can do this on an ambush order or on a fire order, and it just waits there. Let's say this is a. Do I have a T-34 on? No. Alright, let's say this is a T-34, and this comes in its vicinity, and I can have a fire order on and if I'm in an ambush order, I can interrupt the turn. But say I'm in a fire order, and I can just launch this one. It doesn't throw any minuses, but if it's over point blank range, the defender will get a chance to fire at it, but it's difficult because it's so tiny and difficult to hit. And from there it will blow up, and it's a pretty good pack of explosives, so it's pretty guaranteed kill. But it can only be used once though. So, and then I will switch this guy for regular infantry or something. So that's my combat engineer team, my Pioneer. Here I've got what's left of the Wehrmacht. And I'm gonna expand these guys a little more into a squad. Because I like having different kinds of infantry. That makes the game, that gives the game color. I don't want to have a full platoon of all the same infantry. That's boring to me. I want to have character development in the game. That makes the game. That flows my boat. So on the left you can see a sniper. In the back, one guy with SMG, and these guys have the Sturmgewehr. Here's my Volkssturm. The Volkssturm were created in 1945 by Reichsminister Goebbels. And this is my SS. Some tanks, vehicles, my general. On the left you see the werewolf, and here's something I'm working on, is the Kugelpanzer, but I will get into that later. So thanks for watching, guys.